please. Greetings and salutations, this is Cage's Kiss, the ultimate Cage Cast, where we discuss each of the National Treasure's cinematic masterpieces and his life. We also try to glean whatever kernels of wisdom we can from his character that week. And I'm experiencing some severe trauma, and I'm Adrian.
And I'm Linda, but this week you can call me Sister Goat Cheese with Honey.
Not just Sister Cheese.
Well, I couldn't make up my mind.
I'm Donnie, but you can also call me, oh God. Oh God, oh Jesus. Oh Jesus Christ, oh God.
Oh Jesus
Lord.
Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh,
Lord. Yeah, you know, there's nothing like the Neil LaBute version of the Wicker Man, just to remind you how awesome the Anthony Schaefer the Wicker Man was in 1973.
Hell yeah.
Didn't appreciate it? Just watch the 2006 version and you'll love it all over again.
Yeah, there was noticeably a lot less nudity in this one.
Yeah. They wanted to, they softened to reach a wider audience. So this is one of those PG-13 horror movies that all the kids seem to like. Because, you know, there's nothing scarier than some PG-13 type shit.
There's nothing scarier than Wiccans in frickin' Washington State.
In quote, Washington State.
Yes, the Puget Sound.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it might well have been the Puget Sound because that has a Canadian side too. Yeah,
they do.
Which reminds me, you can go visit our Patreon page and contribute some money to us so we can afford to buy our own island on the Sound.
I'm glad you said that and not we're going to send Donnie off to an
island. Speaking of our Patreon and
You've
Washington
got a special
State,
place in the Wicker Man.
Sending me to an island won't stop the World Trade Center episode.
we're about to get butt fucked by snow here in the Pacific Northwest. So send us that Patreon money so we can afford shovels and salt.
Yeah, we need to.
I actually got some snow.
You got some snow up there already?
Sure enough.
Yeah,
apparently, I get it while I'm on the job on Monday, so that's going to be tons of fun driving a security patrol in the freaking snow.
Yeah, we've got manic snow over here where it's like, I want to rain, but I want to snow. Fuck it, you're getting both.
Oh, that's right, you're over there.
Donnie, piles of cocaine does not count as snow.
Shut up, it does!
Her womb is so polluted, she cannot give me children. Speaking of cocaine, so this was September 1st, 2006 is when this got unleashed on audiences. It cost the $40 million, and it only earned the $38 million. And it opened at number 3 behind that Marky Mark sports movie Invincible. And the first Crank movie.
Yeah.
Yay.
And somehow it beat out Idiocracy in its opening weekend, which just does not make any sense to me. Since
it's got electrolytes.
Go
it's
away, Baton. This movie. So apparently they offered Winona Ryder a role in this. And Winona Ryder read the script and she's like, fuck you.
She was too sexy for it.
She was. God damn it. She still. I can't believe they're remaking Little Women right now. I mean, it's only 25 years later. Come on.
Where's my Gabriel Byrne?
In my mind, the 90s just happened, and everything since then has been a fuck awful fever dream. So
where's Gabriel Burns? Where's Gabriel Burns?
No, not the bees. Oh, Faith and Big Order. Quit stinging, you wee buggers.
Gabriel Byrne, if you're listening, give us a call, man. We haven't heard from you in so long.
This is a Neil LaBute movie.
More like LaBute.
I just found out that my friend in Tennessee actually knows his son.
Really?
Yeah, they met at graduate school. My friend Dr. Bullocks. So Neil LaBute, I forget where he was born, but he was raised in Spokane, actually. So he's kind of local. But then he went to Brigham Young University, where he converted to the Mormon Church.
Oh.
And he was later disfellowshipped. Because he did a play.
Happen?
Well, he did a play called Bash, the Latter-day Plays. And the title is kind of a clue because it is about Mormon people behaving badly. It's 3 short plays, like, squished together. And it's called Bash because the middle one involves gay bashing.
Oh, wow. That actually sounds like a better title for a show or just a play itself, as Mormons behaving badly.
Right? No, yeah, if it was just called Mormons behaving badly, I'd be like, ooh, it's naughty, I'll watch it.
Like that could have been like a Sunshine Trilogy type movie there.
Oh, yeah. but apparently when you're disfellowshipped, though, it's not full-on excommunicated. That's just like, oh, you're naughty, we're on the outs with you right now. But, like you can come back from it. But later Neil LaBute apparently just full-on quit the church under his own steam.
Wow.
Creative differences, I'm assuming. Yeah, so he did a lot of theater.
He wanted to go on to make things like Wicker Man.
Well, yeah, no,
and
well,
they were like, no, it's just trash.
So he did In the Company of Men, which is adapted from one of his plays, and it looks like a play because it's like one camera angle per scene. He did The Shape of Things. He did Your Friends and Neighbors, which I haven't seen. He did Nurse Betty, which I unfortunately have seen.
Sorry.
And he did Lakeview Terrace with Samuel L. Jackson as the cop who hates his neighbors. Remember that one?
Yes.
Which really wasn't that good. Most of those movies lost money, in fact. But apparently, like Barbette Schroeder, he just gets to keep making movies no matter what. So,
nobody stopped him.
The critics have kind of branded him a misogynist. But he scripted also, wrote and directed this version of The Wicker Man, so they might be onto something. Yesterday, I actually watched one of his other movies. I watched the thing he did with Matthew Broderick, called Dirty Weekend.
I'd like to see Matthew Broderick's Dirty Weekend.
Well, he put Matthew Broderick's this crusty old guy, and he and his British lady coworker are on a layover in fucking in Albuquerque. And it turns out he's trying to find this club where he had a sexual encounter one time, and he thinks he did it with a lady, but he thinks he also had it up the butt.
Oh.
And he's thinking, like, so was there a strap on, or was that a guy? It's all really hazy. So that, and she's like, oh yeah, you have a secret? I'm your British coworker. Check it out. I wear these sweaters because I'm into bondage. I'm wearing a collar.
Okie dokie.
Oh, and again, that was an Australian accent. Fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But yeah.
I apparently I really suck with that. No, I used to work at a call center. We used to get medical calls all the time, and on one of them we get a call from from Pamela, and there was this lady who would answer named Zelda, and she'd be like, "This is Zelda with Pamela."
Love it.
Hey, she's gonna tell me about Geico. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I've been thinking we need to get pictures, like black and white pictures,
or
of
didn't
the
happen.
three of us, like the they had of the
for the Harvest Festival.
Yeah. With the spiral of flowers.
Yeah, let's just get our dresses on and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to have more than just pictures of myself every time we record our episodes on the wall.
I really want the that bear costume. I've been wanting it ever since I saw this.
If we ever do get Nick Cage on here, he has to do the interview in a bear suit.
Well, yeah.
Even we cannot see him, we have to know he has it on.
Yes. He has to go.
Excuse me, sir. It does not sound like you have the bear suit on. Like, I just have
while
the
he has the
hood
bear
off.
suit on, he's got to be wearing the Cameron Poe hair. It's like, okay, whip your hair past the microphone. So we know you're doing it. So this movie has a connection with superstardom and not just like lame ho-hum stardom like Nicolas Cage. Because this movie was produced by Israeli film director Boaz Davidson, who did The Last American Version and American Cyborg Steel Warrior. But most importantly, American Cyborg Steel Warrior.
Wow. Well,
So kids at home who don't know what a Wicker Man is, it's like this movie.
ask your mom.
Yeah. So this cop goes to this island because some lady's like, this kid's missing, and I'm your old girlfriend from back in the day. And he's like, nuh-uh, okay. And he puts on this crummy off the rack Kmart suit and like goes around asking, like, so where's Rowan? Where's she at? I'm not going to tell you because I'm creepy and pagan, and in this version of the story, I'm a feminazi. Hey, you can't be a feminazi. I have a penis. I'm a ball cutter. Don't get too close or I'll cut him, see? Cut him.
Phallic symbol, phallic symbol.
That's very penisy.
Yeah. Phallic symbol's the maypole. It's not Nicolas Cage. They're getting it wrong.
But he comes in like a complete asshole too, so I mean...
yeah, but in the 1973 original, the guy comes in like a complete asshole, but there's an explanation. Because in the island, they don't dress like fucking Puritans or anything like that. They're just a bunch of fucking hippie pagans who also happen to do human sacrifice. And he's a hard-on Christian. So there's like something, there's like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Well, yeah. Well, yeah, no, he's a different kind of boner, you know? And this one, Cage is the sperm boner, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and his name is Edward Malus.
Right, which sounds like male phallus and stuff like that. But
on the fucking nose.
But that's actually also in keeping with the plant theme, because Malus is also a kind of plant.
You mean P.T. Moss is a plant name?
I'm the photographer and a doctor. I grow on the north side of a tree. My camera's 200 years old for no reason.
Son of a bitch. I'm really kicking myself in the ass because I am just fucking getting that. God damn it.
It's okay. It's really okay to miss a thing or two, since the movie's, as the French call, stupid.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
The 1973 version had Christopher Lee as Summer Isle. It wasn't Summer's Isle; it was Summer Isle. And it had Britt Eklund topless. And that version was scripted by Anthony Schaefer, who wrote Sleuth and Death on the Nile and Hitchcock's Frenzy, and was a freaking genius.
Yeah.
And it was loosely based on David Pinner's novel Ritual, which David Pinner had actually originally tried to make into a film before doing as a novel in the 60s. At one point, Michael Winter was interested in making it.
You have to admit, though, that in this version, Nick Cage is giving us everything.
True.
Well, yeah, we do have plenty of caginess, because we get him continuously, running afoul of these, an island full of women who want to cut his dick off. You know?
Well, Carlo watched it with me, and he said, quote, "It's like he's in a completely different movie than the rest of them."
He really is.
He really is.
I was hoping you were going to say that Carlos said, "It's like a dream."
Then he said, "Our love is like rain."
Yeah, you know Carlo.
Tears in the rain.
You bitches!
Well, I also, while I was watching this, I was also thinking that we ought to get tattoos of the Summer Isle symbol.
Oh,
which
God.
would be the bee and the crown.
Are we going to get that as our tramp stamps? Is that how we're going to do it?
Hell yeah!
I got to start getting Slinky shirts.
I have to say, this was a first for me, because I remember watching this when I was with an ex who really loved the movie, and I questioned a lot of it. I had a review on.
Was that your ex who I met?
The Crypt Keeper, if you met her, yes.
The old lady?
Yes.
Your old lady?
But,
and she liked this one because she's like, "Yep, set man on fire. That's my policy."
You know, by the same token of that, she really, unironically loved Ghost Rider, like, with a passion.
Really?
But, yeah.
On purpose?
But, yes.
So
it was one of her favorites. She actually made sure when I moved out that I did not take that DVD. So, yeah.
Oh, no danger of that.
Yeah. But no, I wrote such a horribly shitty review of this on not Facebook, MySpace, way back. But this was the first me watching the regular edition, not the unrated. So you got to hear,
yeah.
spoilers, you get to hear his legs being broken and him telling you what
Yeah.
happened to him. But I was really upset because I'm like, where the fuck is my bees? I wanted my bees scene, but apparently that was too extreme.
Where my bees at?
No, that's right. There's a couple different cuts. Like in theaters, it ended with a 6 months later thing. Lee Sobieski and some other chick like trying to pick up guys in a bar in Seattle, trying to like gotta make more babies and get a guy to get sacrificed later. So how about some sperms?
Well, I got really pissed because I have it on Blu-ray and it says like right on the front.
So you saw the CGI bees in all their high definition
it's in all their glory. But I have the Blu-ray and it like boasts on the front that it has the alternate scene, not from theaters.
Yeah.
The alternate ending. But it doesn't have the theatrical ending, so I was kind of pissed. Like,
apparently, it's hard to get a whole version of this. Like, I had to watch this via the Riff Tracks version, which ends with the video ending where the Wicker Man falls down and it just ends. Can we just talk? By the way, like back to comparisons with the original, like about how underwhelming the final scene is with this. Because spoiler alert, this is about a guy getting burned to death in a giant like wood statue thing.
Yeah. Majestic wood statue
by pagans. Yeah. And in the original, it's by the seaside. It's up on this hill, like the sun setting behind it. It's really striking. And when it collapses, you get a zoom in on the setting sun, and you get the pagan sun symbol and shit.
Yeah,
and it feels very complete for all that. And in this version, it's just like, yeah, it's noon. They're just kind of hanging out in this grassy field, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna set you on fire. It's like, oh cool. Well, let me know when it's over. And you know, you get a shot of Cage in the Wicker Man, and he's like. He's acting like he's on fire. He sure doesn't look like he's on fire.
Yeah.
You're going to put fire in, right, so I won't look stupid? Oh, yeah, we'll put some fire in there, yeah, if we get around to it.
Trust me, I'm no stranger to acting like I'm on fire.
Oh, shit, they should have put him in mirrors instead of Kiefer Sutherland. It's the only thing that could have saved that movie.
Yeah.
The Blu-ray version ends with Lily Sobieski looking into the camera, and she says, vaginas.
When you leave, will you take me with you for some vagina-ing?
I'm just surprised it didn't end with a fun montage of him just roundhouse kicking people.
Oh no, that's right. It should have been like a Hal Needham movie. It should have. The end credits should have just been like 5 straight minutes of him kicking the entire cast into the wall picture.
Yeah. That would have been
my favorite parts. Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because that's the only payback you get.
Well, that's one of my favorite parts in any of his movies is him hitting Sister Beach and kicking Lily Sobieski in the tummy, the tum-tums.
You gotta love Sister Beach, by the way. This is the Sister Beach show right now. Like, you know, it's like, oh, hey, guy from the mainland, I'm really mannish and I hate you. So, like, what's up? You know.
Take my meat and stop complaining, bitch.
How come I can't get the honey you guys make here? This is store-bought shit. What the fuck?
No,
goddamn service in here.
I was just thinking that this would have been really fun if at the end they just added in at the end credits like some extreme close-ups of the fight scenes going on, and then they just played like Motley Crue in the background. It's like Kickstart My Heart just starts revving through, and then you have like the John Woo style action shit that comes in like animated scenes after. And
well,
like
I mean, if we're gonna get into Motley Crue, they could have done the whole soundtrack. Girls. Because Cage did it all in the name of rock and roll.
He really did.
Yeah.
But that was one thing
he'll never make
noticed.
It Home Sweet Home.
Angelo Badalamenti did the music.
Yeah, yes, he did. Of David Lynch fame. This is not one of his better scores, I don't think.
No,
I'll agree with that. Either it wasn't one of his better scores, or like Jerry Goldsmith, they just cut it up and used the parts they felt like using.
Well, what's that? Is that a musical score or something?
What's in the bag? Is that a musical score?
Well, I got really excited when I saw him in the opening credits, and then
there, like I mentioned, Boaz Davidson. Like there are things here where there was potential, but then you get to the movie. I mean, so this was shot by Paul Saracey from Canada. And he did movies for Adam Mcgowan. Like he shot Exotica, and he did Affliction, and he did duets, unfortunately. and yet the movie is really bland looking. Like it's always sunshiny and everything's shot through an amber filter, so it's just ugly as fuck. And speaking of wasted fucking potential, Ellen fucking Burstyn's in this movie.
Oh God, yes. I was just gonna say, like, she gave me aging goals.
Well,
I love her.
but
I want to grow up to be her.
But it's fucked up because like this isn't too long after her Oscar nomination for Requiem for a Dream. She was in fucking King of Marvin Gardens with Bruce Dern and Jack Nicholson, and she's a total throwaway feminazi villain with face paint in this.
Yes,
and she's a real fucking person. Like in the 70s, she was very active. She was trying to free Reuben Hurricane Carter. And she considers herself as affiliated with all religious faiths, and here she is in this bullshit, like, potentially misogynist movie where it's just like, is this anti-men? Is this pro-pagan? Is it anti-pagan? Is there a message? Why'd this happen?
And let's be honest, if any of us were like being held by Ellen Burstyn and we found out that she wanted to sacrifice us, we would all be honored.
No,
Donnie especially.
I would ask her real talk why she didn't do Exorcist 2: The Heretic. Come on now,
yeah.
There was more of that story to be told.
Honestly, the way this movie was, it just kind of pissed me off because the original laid everything out really nicely for you, but there wasn't much to suggest this was pagan, other than just saying, "Well, make your own conclusion." But at the same time, just fuck. I mean, for honey, really? They just did all this, but at the same time, it's like all the women in this movie, holy shit, do they just portray them as every woman is potentially going to roast your ass alive.
No, that's pretty much in it. Like the world is full of this awful conspiracy where all blonde women have shifty eyes.
Oh my god! Yes,
you
exactly.
And they're wearing braids.
It's like the cops at the station and the freaking little girl that threw the doll and got whammed by a truck.
That's another bullshit thing that they added on. Is like they have like in The Changeling with George C. Scott. They add in the opening trauma thing.
Yes.
So he's like Cage is a motorcycle
what it made
cop.
Me think of.
And he's driving around California, and the whole movie looks like California anyway. And like the little girl from the bad seed throws her Raggedy Andy doll or something out the window of their station wagon, and then the Anne Heche impersonator behind the wheel. It's like oh, let's be more careful with our things. They get wiped out by a semi truck, and everything explodes.
It still makes me laugh because every time it's happened, I've always said that's what bitches get for throwing dolls. Linda, you had something to say.
Shit.
Well, I was gonna say that I couldn't help but notice that this movie is white as fuck.
Yeah. I was gonna, good. No, good. Yeah, there is no color in this movie. The movie is yellow. The people are white.
Oh, because only white people would be stupid enough to believe this shit.
just not enough white people to make it over $40 million in the box office.
Yeah.
But there isn't even any like white or people of color in the police station. Like
they weren't
I noticed,
the woke generation.
Yeah.
Well, he had a female cop coming to his house in the beginning, and I don't know, like I couldn't help but think of Changeling too with that opening scene, but I was also wondering what the fuck did that have to do with anything?
I don't know, but I just
that's a shit horror trope. That's one of my least favorite horror tropes, and I love horror movies.
I just think back to DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince telling us that girls in the world ain't nothing but trouble. This film kind of exemplifies
that. Even the kids on the island, they're all evil. Like it's just everybody's evil. Yeah. It's like...
I noticed that there were like a lot of pregnant women walking together at one point. So while I was watching it with Carlo, I said, "Oh, a lot of pregnant bellies." And he says, "No, just a bunch of fatties." Fatties festival.
Why are you letting yourself go, Tubby? Big old Tubby fatty. I hate it when a bitch lets herself slide.
Real women have curves.
Damn right.
Just in that one spot, right? I got bony stick arms and a big old pregnant belly. Hi.
Just do anything for you. That's where I keep my honey.
You know, an afterthought of this is that I've heard that when women usually congregate together for long periods of time, their periods all sink. So that island really has to suck for a
Oh
while.
yeah, once a month. Oh my God, Cuntsville, man, shit,
We must go.
man, stay the fuck away.
Jesus.
PMS world, you know what I'm saying?
Nobody goes to that island. That's the island of man-hate.
If only they'd made this in the 70s and called it Island of the Man-Haters, it would have been a delightful exploitation film, like Raw Force or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Woman Hunt. Cyril H. Santiago's.
What is it? The women of the avocado jungle of death.
Oh, the Amazon women in the
yes, Amazon.
Hey, remember that movie Cat Women on the Moon?
Oh
yes.
my God.
Man, that was so much better than this.
It really was.
They had that spider monster and everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we watched both of those movies like around the same time too.
Yes. Same with the
Did you
weird
know that
B-52s comedy thing with the Lobster Man?
That sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's Lobster Man from Mars and something else.
I didn't see that, but I saw the Oingo Boingo movie. Was that Forbidden Zone? Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fee, fi, fo, fuck you. Good times.
Did you know that Lily Sobieski was in Jungle to Jungle and The Glass House? The Glass House, you guys.
Jungle, father to son.
God damn it.
So I'd like to bring up that being made in 2006, this really could have made use of the Iron Maiden song. Your time will come.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
Come on,
go to our Patreon and you could fund our remake.
I'm just saying, 2006, by the way, while we're on the subject, the remake of The Omen happened that year because they're like, hey, look, June 6th, 2006, we got to remake The Omen. It's like, maybe
Did
you
that
never
also
should.
have Lily Sobieski, or was that...
No, that had that lady I hate.
I get them mixed up.
What?
Zoe Deschanel?
No, it wasn't a Zoe. It was the chick. It was the chick from Save the Last Dance.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Bring It On, I think. Fuck, I always get them mixed up.
I
don't
hate
know
her
why.
so much. But like they remade The Omen again after a certain Iron Maiden album. So hello, 666, the number of the beast. Sacrifice is going on tonight.
Julia Stiles.
For those royalties.
yeah, Julia Stiles. Yeah, they saved
Schreiber.
they saved a pretty fucking penny. They didn't use the Jerry Goldsmith music either.
I love Liv Schreiber though.
I love Liev Schreiber. That movie is fucking shit. Like it might even be worse than this one, and that's stunning.
No, that's true. You reminded me of when our cousin, one of our cousins, would drag Donnie and I to bingo.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever they called out 066, we would say that. Oh, 66, the number of the beast. We got a lot of weird stares from the blue hairs.
Not a prisoner.
I think we almost got kicked out, and we really embarrassed my ex when we were talking about the male G-spot and how to find it.
Yes.
Wait, you got kicked out of what?
Because he specifically said the wrong thing and don't embarrass us. You asked for it, bitch.
And I said, no, you don't want to go that far. That's you gotten one knuckle too deep.
Oh, do we speaking of embarrassing, do we want to talk about the character of Willow?
No.
No. Thank you though.
The person who sends for Cage is his long lost fiance Willow. And we find out that that's her kid and that was Cage's kid. So she just has these big old eyes and is just kind of staring. And so this is a lady named Kate Behan, who is Australian. She's Australian, so the accent's proper this time. She was in The Boss Baby.
Can that explain her fucked up eyes?
That's right. Yeah, she can't help it. She was also in The Return with Sarah Michelle Gellar, which is not very
Galar.
Oh,
because Sarah Michelle Gellar.
shit, you were
Galar.
turning to the Dropbox.
I have the right. I have the movie running silent in the background, and she's just walked up, and her big old forehead's reflecting Cage's face.
And he's checking himself out.
A child disappeared and we've human sacrifice. I should have mentioned. I'll drive that
burned
psycho.
to death. I'm like, what? Oh, she was burned to death. That's not what you said.
I mean, we're going to roast her alive. I mean, precisely what I meant to say.
I meant I left a toaster strudel
In the microwave too long, and now it's just ruined.
Funny, it didn't sound like you said that much.
It
Well, I
sounded
did.
like the emphasis
Good
was
day.
different before, the cadence maybe. Just saying. So yeah, the whole flow of both movies is that they basically sort of roundaboutishly convince the guy from the mainland that the child's going to be sacrificed to their creepy pagan gods, and then it turns out, no, you're going to be sacrificed to our creepy pagan gods. Silly you.
Yeah, and then his daughter is the one who lights the fire because she's like, "Fuck you, daddy."
I'm a bitch.
That's right. She's a sinner and a saint. She does not feel ashamed.
Phallic symbol, daddy.
The drone must die, meaning you and your penis.
Jesus Christ.
The streets will flow with the blood of the non-believers.
Drones aren't actually strictly male, and well, never mind. Okay. I mean, I could correct you later, honey, but you want to have your fire, that's fine.
But yeah, I think everybody in this movie is just kind of a dick, except for maybe the mom in the beginning and the cop.
But she's a
that
dick
came
too,
to
because it
check in
turns
on
out
her.
she was in on it.
Was she?
Yeah. I think that's supposed to be a reveal at the end when people are taking off their stupid animal masks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole stupid movie was a big, stupid, dummy, dum-dum
Oh, what
idiot
the fuck?
conspiracy.
So you can't trust any women.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
No, but this is again the common theme from Neil LaBute.
Wild women do, and you don't regret it.
The sisters are doing it for themselves. See, we should have just watched.
Bees. Sorry.
We should have just watched Boys on the Side.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
Yes.
that would have been awesome if
Cut.
y'all just started dancing during the fire, and all you hear is "Whatever makes you stronger."
Or cut.
Prepare the mimosas. Jesus.
If it had any of those qualities, if it had like a Tawanda sort of theme to it, or like sort of a bitchy punk theme, or
a Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a Whoopi Goldberg. Thank you. I'm Sister Summersile. Our crops got fucked up.
Is that gonna be Sister Act 3?
Yes.
No matter what you did with Sister Act 3, it would still be better than Sister Act 2.
True.
You heard it here, folks. We're working on it. Cage's Kiss presents Sister Act 3.
The Muppets present Wicker Man. Jesus.
Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey.
We can
Those are
try.
subtleties. We will set you on fire. Woman!
Honestly, that's a good question. Would something like this fly in today? What would be the freaking Rotten Tomato score for this? Considering there would be a lot of man hate in this.
Yeah. Today, well, I get this is the other thing. It's like this movie is so ham-handed and confusing and clumsy, just in its execution. Like I said, it's like Cage is in a different movie from the rest of them.
Yeah.
Did you say in its sexecution?
Yeah, the sexecution, obviously. Yeah.
Isn't that what this movie's about?
Yeah,
sex
we're on
the sex-
Patreon, so we can make the sexecutioner with the cage.
Yeah, what?
Yes.
It's funny how they confine
bear
him in
costume.
the penis section of the Wicker Man. There, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Phallic
really,
symbol.
no. Like honestly, it's like, do you think the bend of it is like, it's like, so is this just a horror movie? Did they just think they were making a genre exercise, or is it like one way or another gender related, like intentionally?
Yeah.
Like because the original did not have a feminazi theme at all.
No.
Like that, like Summer Isle was Christopher Lee. He was male, and they were male and female pagans, and they had free love, and there was sex, and it was all kind of chill.
Yeah. Yeah, Christopher Lee singing and dancing. And they even brought him. There was a third Wicker Man movie, which was supposed to have been a sequel to the first one. And
Yeah.
he returned for that one, too.
Yeah, because the director Hardy there, I think, made the Wicker Tree.
Yeah.
And at one point, it was never made, but Anthony Schaefer actually wrote an intended sequel to the original, in which the supernatural aspect was more emphasized. But which
I feel
sounds
like-
intriguing, since also because Schaefer, but they didn't make that.
Yeah.
I feel like the original is more accurate to Wiccans, pagans, because they get down
Well-
and have a damn good time.
Well, yeah. Well, also, in the original, like it's an English movie. It's an island off of England, but they don't have like a theme for their costumes or anything like that. Like until they're getting ready for the sacrifice, and they got masks and swords and shit. In this one, they're all like, people might not get that they're creepy and different unless we make everything about them creepy and different. So let's have them dress like frickin' 16th century Puritans or some shit, and give them butter churns. It's like if we don't do that, they'll think they're normal. It's
like their
just-
sister wives.
Just dress them up like they run a shop selling crystals, and that'll be fine.
But
Actually,
but
we should have got a couple strippers to come and guest on here to tell us how closely they follow the Wicked and Pagans. So
God.
Oh,
that
yeah.
could have helped us out a lot. It's a known fact that most strippers are pagan Wiccans.
obviously, yeah, and their names are Misty.
Yes,
We learned
crystal
something
like
new
the
today.
champagne.
God damn it, Donnie.
we are very sensitive to your culture.
Don't ask the person who's got a show called Bed Knobs and Broomflicks.
Speaking of knobs, so have you done all 20 witchcraft movies yet? 'Cause you got a lot to
God.
catch up on.
I feel like we should do that as like a holiday special.
I can't wait till you get to the 6th one with that basement sex scene where it's like, wait a minute, he's holding her too high. There's no way he's getting in there.
Can we?
Well,
when we
maybe
do
he's
our,
got a huge dong.
when we do our holiday special, can we do it just like the Star Wars holiday special?
Oh
You
yeah,
mean like
Life
with Wookiee
Day.
porn?
Yeah,
And
but
with B. Arthur?
Yeah, we
Yes,
gotta
and
make
Jefferson
suits
Starship.
out of wigs, and we gotta pretend to be looking into Viewmasters so we can see REO Speedwagon and
holy
Starship.
fuck, we can get Paul Williams to come on.
Woo!
Oh, shit.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
okay.
Will you light the sky on fire like I did last night?
So I always play an album on my record player when I'm feeding my cats their dinner. And for the longest time, it was Paul Williams. But right now, I've got David Bowie's Reality on the player.
Don't change the record. You confuse the cats. They'll be like, meow. I don't know if it's food time right now because there's a different tune.
God damn it. My dog just farted really fucking bad. Really bad, you guys. I think I'm dying.
You need to put them in the
God
play
damn it.
closet or some shit. When you're doing
That
this.
won't bring your honey back.
You need to lock them up with Carrie White.
Jesus. So, do we actually? Wait, we do kind of
Oh,
have
Jesus
your.
Christ.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So, do
did
we
you know
have
the
enough
original?
for your close off segment?
Oh,
We have
well,
nothing except
actually,
for like an implied sickly old man.
well, there's
Oh.
also the lady who's only wearing bees.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In one of the dumbest things ever, it's like, is this supposed to be hallucinatory? Because it's not scary. She's smiling like
Oh my
that.
god. Yeah, that's
That's another thing. They
too.
make Cage allergic to bees.
They do, but that's why that's two things I have to bring up. One is if you're taking medication and you're actively having hallucinations, stop taking the medication.
Yeah, basically.
But no, so no, he starts taking pills for his trauma, supposedly over the car exploding at the beginning in front of him.
Yeah.
But before that happens, they show him at the truck stop with his mustache Chimo friend, and he's looking at books on tape. And there's the one called Everything's Okay that he's looking at. And on the island, he asks where his Everything's Okay tape is at. So, like, he was already listening to self-help trauma shit before he had some trauma? Because it can't be over Willow leaving him, because that child's grown. She's at least 5.
I know.
How are you not over this 5 fucking years later, you worthless pussy?
Maybe it's really sensitive.
Maybe it's just something that he had tied into that event, so he keeps it with him, because he has to be reminded of it, so he can brood over it every day.
Gotta think about my whole life before I ride a motorcycle.
But the other thing I was going to question was about the bees. Like, they broke his legs. They were going to set him on fire. Was pouring the bees on his head just kind of a fuck you because they all thought he was a dickbag?
It must have been. I mean, so. like at one point he swats a bee, and everybody's like, "Why would you do a thing like that?" It's like, so why would you waste bees on him?
Yeah.
No, not the bees! Oh God!
Well, and they even had like the special little like bee head cage.
I see what you did there. Bee head cage.
So it's like a lot of things where they're just throwing random shit on there, and they're like, no, see, it fits in with the bee theme. It's like, when you have a theme, you should actually know why you're including it and have like a slant on it. Just saying.
Yeah. But maybe it was part of the ritual.
Maybe it wasn't even a pagan Wiccan thing. It was just the bees talking.
Well, they only used CGI bees that time, so no real bees got hurt.
Well, then I lost some respect for him. He should have had real bees.
Yeah, that's not acting.
That's not our cage.
If they had made this with the Jackass guys, it would have been real bees.
That's true.
And we would have had close-ups of their nutsacks getting stung.
Yeah.
Or buttholes. Or buttholes.
There you go. There you go. There's the face-off. Steve-O. Steve-O.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to put this killer bee up my pee hole.
God damn it. Oh, God. Ah.
I got to see him live, and for some ungodly reason, he decided to end his show with a horrible fucking stunt where he cut up a lemon and squeeze the juice into his eyes, and everyone's like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. It's okay.
Oh, nice.
It's like you don't have to be deemed worthy.
Why can't we get that kind of thing from Gallagher, who deserves it?
Yes, right?
I'll sledge-o-matic my own dick.
Doing that won't bring your career back.
Nothing will.
Ew, we're in the splash zone.
Oh yeah, he's got that hammer with the hole in the middle, the nuts that just shoot right up it.
Oh, rip.
Speaking of hitting things with our nuts, are we ready to face off this thing?
Oh, Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think... is this the third remake we've had on this show?
I think so, yeah.
Because there's Kiss of Death, and then there's Gone in 60 Seconds. I think we're only up to 3 remakes, at least, where they use the title. Right?
Yeah, I think so. But I don't want to count, so...
Yeah.
Well, you're also sick.
Yes, I'm a sickie.
You got that dirty woman's disease.
You got the woman's disease.
Oh, it's so musical.
Well, I know for my own face-off, I only had one change, and that's instead of Nick Cage, we get Nick Nolte.
Yes.
Oh! I want to watch that so hard.
Just let him go loose with a quart of cocaine, some vodka, and just go to town.
Or Sean Connery would have hit them from the get-go.
You little liars!
He would have just come onto the island, he would have landed, and he'd be throwing punches left and right.
Oh my god, even their leader, it's like if we did a cast with the original in the Christopher Lee part, you could have had Tom Waits leading the entire island. And just be the gravelly voice off. It just would have been amazing. Here to mix some honey. They're killing me, won't bring your honey back.
You're a fool and a
Yes.
virgin in a cage.
Why are you talking about phallic symbols?
And Dr. Ron Perlman.
Yes, Dr. Pearl.
Dr. Perlman, giving the
We'll call this movie Grumble Grouse.
The grumble.
The
Oh, yeah,
grumbling.
get Harvey
grundle.
Firestein in there,
Yes!
and Lucille
Grundle Man.
Ball, Stevie Nicks, Kim Carnes.
We're gonna burn you to grumble.
Bird in my What?
Oh God!
Wait, what are you gonna do?
Linda, who's your face off?
Okay, so I made it less white, and I added some flair to it, and I made it into a movie I want to see. As Sister Summersisle, I've got Mama Rue. As Sister Rose / Sister Thorn, I have Shangela. And as Edward Phallus Malus, I have Willem.
Well,
So yeah,
that's any other good idea. Why not just do this with an entire island of dragons?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh! Tu Wong Fu. It's the sequel. Instead of T.O., it's the number 2.
Yes.
To Wicker No Man.
Honestly, I feel like the spirit of Patrick Swayze is smiling down on us right now. So
I like to think he always is.
He touched all those children in that Danny Darko movie.
Pain don't hurt.
That's right.
It's my way or the highway. I got this feeling that won't subside.
Jesus Christ.
We're bringing back Wesley Snipes and John Leguizamo.
Well, if we could bring back their careers, we would. Yeah.
So your face off, Adriel.
Oh, well, I almost feel like I don't have to, just because there's a 1973 movie that's my face off.
That's
like
true.
This is another one of those movies that just shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, much like the remake of The Omen. I like the idea of putting Whoopi Goldberg in it, though. That one still appeals to me.
Yay!
Oh God.
And in fact, wait a minute. If it's an island full of twatty women, just put the cast from The View in there. All current and past members. Willow was an idiot, right? She could be Debbie Matenopoulos. Yeah.
Oh God, make this just a Bridesmaid sequel. That could work.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ!
Cast Melissa
like
McCarthy in it.
Oh! Wait, we finally caught up to that joke. This is the movie where that would work. Oh my God, we're full circle.
I would like to change my choice of Edward to Rip Taylor. It won't bring back your damn bees!
It's a bee movie. It's funny. It's like Aquila and the Bee and Bee Season. It's Secret Life of Bees. Where's Jerry Seinfeld? It's a bee movie.
He might be able to save it. I don't know. We'll bring him back from the dead. We'll call BillyWitchDoctor.com.
Ooh.
Jesus.
So were you all able to find any KG wisdom in all of this crap?
Don't trust women.
Apparently, the Neil LaBute wisdom, it's like, women will just crush you. Trust no one. Despair.
Despair.
I'm kind of a boring guy hanging around the house taking pills. Then my blonde friend comes over. I got a life. It's fine.
I guess my wisdom would be not to go to, like, if you're allergic to bees, maybe don't go to an island that's known for honey.
Yeah.
So it's all weird and isolated, yet it has its own website that basically explains the whole thing.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I want to know, like, there's seems to be no electricity, but they have a
They don't have
presence.
phones either. Yeah. But that crotchety old guy from Maine flies in his plane and I guess ships their stuff in and out, and they get money from that.
I don't know.
Well, not even
Something
not
right.
even now. They also killed him.
That's
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah. But there's another thing too. Is like they keep having jump scares. It's like, which of these are hallucinations?
Yeah.
Because he thinks he found Rowan under the docks, and then he thinks he's holding her washed up corpse, and this and that, and he keeps flashing back to the thing with the car, and like maybe they didn't really happen, and maybe his friend was made of bees.
Maybe the whole thing was just a hallucination.
Maybe his friend was made of bees.
Maybe we're a hallucination.
Maybe we're made of bees.
Yeah. Maybe we're all just a little bit made of bees.
There,
you know,
we learned you something.
If they
I'm
those...
Mr. Be Natural.
Do it, Buzz, or I'll kill you. So I'm attracted to guys now?
I guess.
It reminds me when I used to donate blood. I can't anymore because I've got tainted blood. Yes, exactly. That's what they told me. But I asked them what my blood type was.
Like, damn.
Well, I was really stupid because I think I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I was young and stupid, but they said be positive. I was like, what's the problem?
Wait a minute! You're about to give me some really bad news.
I was like, do I have it?
That must be Mr. B Natural's blood type.
Yes.
I don't know my blood type. This paramedics better just be good at this shit.
Maybe I shouldn't have given mine out.
Yes, and with this episode in the description, we're going to post the methods in which we do not want to die and our addresses.
Our greatest fears.
One of us is going to wake up with our eyes taped open and watch while the other two are being slowly killed. And his little pieces of the other two's brains are put on a small cooker and fed to him.
I would like to let you all know that my liver is shot to hell, okay? And so are my kidneys. So you don't want them.
Well, you don't want my organs. I'm gay. I might have it, you know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You get one of them gay diseases.
Yeah, it's God's punishment for you.
There's this new gay cancer, and I'm not going to do anything about it. Message to terrorists everywhere. You can run, but you can't hide.
Thank you, Christian Slater.
I thought he was going for Reagan.
Christian Reagan, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or David Lynch. I still don't know.
Yeah. Well, they all kind of talk the same, you know.
And I am worried about Coop. So I guess this is the time where I say, please listen, follow, rate, and review Cage's Kiss on all the platforms, especially Podchaser and
you'll get more
Podcasts.
of the same.
Yeah.
Please. And help us by letting everybody else know about us because we don't have a lot of listeners, guys. So
we don't.
We depend on you a lot, and we like the monies, and yeah. Anyway, so check out our stuff also on YouTube, and check out our Patreon at www.patreon.com/CagesKiss. That's CAGESKISS without that apostrophe, of course. For just a couple bucks a month, you can get some awesome goodies like stickers, buttons, and a Cage's Kiss ringtone. And we have that new awesome level for how much was it?
$20. Give to us the funds. We will say your name on the podcast. And if you give that higher tier of money, I'll draw you some shit if you want some.
Yeah, you get some Adrian arts. And for $15,000, I think it is, we'll come out and do a dance interpretation of your favorite Cage's Kiss movie. Or Cage movie.
But if you give as little as $6,000 a month, we'll also be your best friend and love you forever. Yeah,
you won't be able to get rid of us. We'll come over and watch some Netflix with you. But remember, you can find Cage's Kiss on Facebook and on Twitter at Cage's Kiss. You can visit our website at cageskiss.com where you can see all that awesome Adrian arts.
Oh.
And you can write to us at cageskiss@gmail.com. Check out my other show, Bedknobs and Broomflicks. We just covered the original Suspiria. So that's fun.
Suspiria!
Adrian, what you got?
Suspiria.
Suspiria.
Well,
Suspiria.
I'm still on DeviantArt as Leo the Fox, and speaking of my artworks, I just updated with my YouTube with a new video called Growing Pictures, which shows some of my artworks developing in stages. You could watch that or not. It's got weird audio that's just sound from me on this show recycled. Yeah. Donnie!
Oh, you can also see Adrian's awesome Cage art on our YouTube as well.
Yeah. Especially on the
It's
World
one
Trade
more
Center
time.
episode.
Oh God, yeah. Like if you like to be offended, and if you like to see screenshots of Cage at his worst, go check out our YouTube.
I'm very proud of my
Donnie.
Sister Beach artwork too. That's coming up.
Oh, that's
It's pretty fucking rad.
And I am Unreal Goals on Twitter. I'm also Lakuo Blue on Twitch. And
Ooh.
I've got nothing else to offer to the world because, fuck it, do your own thing.
Lakua Blue, is that some damn Twi'lek shit? You into Star Wars?
Yes, it's from the Star of Horrors.
Oh, that is so French. It's how you say for toi.
Shit on me.
Are you one of them nerds?
Alphaville? Abu Safou?
Okay.
You fuck them damn Ewoks. Those animals, what fuck?
I'm down with French shit. I read La Bosse.
I've seen Irreversible. I know it's down.
I know what a menage a trois
I'm
is.
just gonna get off the plane in Paris and be like, so that Tina around here, that woman what has a dick? Yeah? She busy or what?
Come to the cage. Stay with the chicks.
Where do I go to one of them gay beat 'em up clubs?
I've seen Emmanuel.
You know, yeah, that's true.
Well, I didn't see that, but I saw the story of O. And, oh God.
Oh.
And just for the record, we all love chicks with dicks. You're all welcome.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, fucking love them.
We're not
So
judging your
anyway.
pretty derby fan art here.
And we will be seeing you next week with Ghost Rider.
Oh God, are we there already?
Jesus.
Yup.
Oh fuck! Why do I get to host that? Fuck you.
What? I had to host Wicker Man. That's right down there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Come
But
on.
also,
Well, I mean, we're pretty much done with good Cage movies for about 10 years, so.
Yeah.
actually, Donnie, it looks like I'm hosting it.
No.
Well, what
well.
comes after Ghost Rider?
Your mom.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. It's true. Your mom
we'll
always
figure it
comes
out.
after Ghost Rider.
Are you being
Just-
burned alive?
Fire!
She's like, oh, that Ghost Rider, he's so hot.
I am
After
the Night
Ghost
Rider.
Rider, it's
Is a Knight
Grindhouse.
Rider.
That shot of the island with the CGI waves is so shit. You had aerial photography. Just pay
Damn
the
it.
guy to go up in golden hour, you cheap fucks.
Neil Breen had a drone. Okay,
And a dream.
You know,
a
and-
drone and a dream.
there's my fucking face off. Neil Breen's fucking Wicker
Everything.
Man. It could not possibly have been worse. In fact, odds
It's
are it
all
would have
coming
been
to this.
better.
So after Ghost
Where's
Rider, we're gonna be
Rowan?
joined
I don't
by-
understand.
God damn it. After Ghost Rider, we're going to be joined by our friend Kristen from Coffin Cast for Grindhouse, in which he played Fu Manchu.
Oh, yeah. The only good part of that movie, the trailers.
Yeah, I guess we're doing the whole goddamn thing. So
Now, I will say this: Death Proof is the best thing that Quentin Tarantino directed this century.
you know, a lot of people agree with you.
Yeah,
It was just trending.
it was the
a
only
couple
thing
days
he
ago.
did that wasn't 3 hours long.
And with that, I'd like to apologize for Donnie, and
What?
we'll be seeing you next week.
What? Why are we apologizing for me? I just want to see Neil Breen redo the Avengers.
And again, he could not possibly make it worse.
And until then, I burned a guy.
I'm Mighty Thor. I've come from Asgard, and I have a hammer. My brother and I were selected.
I'm an American.
Programmable reality.
But isn't that wrong, Thanos?
Peach. I could eat a peach for hours. Please. Kiss me.
Hello, this is Gorham,
And I'm Reginald Thistlewhite,
and we're from
the Friends and Players podcast. Do you like Dungeons and Dragons?
Do you like pop culture references?
Do you like listening to idiot blowhards running around in circles accomplishing nothing?
Then do we have the show for you. Listen to Friends and Flayers on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other major podcast platforms.
And if you do drop by, be sure to rate and subscribe so you never miss a future episode.